Hello, distinguished people. You are welcome to IOSH West African Conference 2021, an event that's targeted at achieving a brighter and safer future for workers, for businesses, and for West Africa. Wherever you are joining across the West African region, I bid you welcome. Now, if you are from the Yoruba tribe, I say to you, Ekabo. If you are Igbo, no. If you speak Hausa, I say Baka de Zua. If you're from Sierra Leone and you speak Creole language, Unakabwa. If you're from the Gambia and you speak Mandinka, Ini Ise. If you're from Ghana and you speak Akan language, Akwaba. If you speak Arabic, Mahaba. And to those who speak French, I say bienvenue. Wherever you're joining in from, I say welcome. My name is Temi Popola, and I'm joining you live from the ever-buzzing, ever-lively city of Lagos in Nigeria. I'm honored to be your host for the conference today and tomorrow. Now, with representatives from different parts of West African region, we are set to celebrate, discuss, debate, and engage with occupational safety and health issues. As we navigate these issues with I being your gracious host, it sure promises to be fruitful, rewarding, and educating, not only for workers and businesses, but also for the economies of West Africa. This morning, we'll have the pleasure to be addressed by the president of IOSH, Jimmy Quinn, who will then be joined by IOSH newly appointed chief executive, Vanessa Herwood-Wicha. She'll tell us what's in store for occupational safety and health profession in West Africa. But before we move on, I would love to know where you are tuning in from and how do you say hello in your own native language? So I already welcomed you in a few languages. I'd like to know how you say hello in your native language. So in the chat room on Swapcard, please teach us to say hello in your native language. We are also running an online poll now. The beauty of coming to you virtually is that you can tune in from anywhere. You could be at work listening to me, at home, on site, in a cafe, in transit, or even in the bus. It's okay to join from any part of the world. Now, if you look to the right of your screen on Swapcard, you'll see a chat, question, and poll window. Please click on the poll window and select your answer now. Would like to know where you are joining in from. Now, while you do that, I'll let you know how today will run on Swapcard. Hopefully by now, you already updated your bios. You filled your bios, updated your profile, and you made some new connections or connected with familiar faces. You can use the networking tool to send a connection request and make use of the video call tool to meet with people virtually, all on Swapcard. If you'd like to know more about Swapcard and how to make good use of your time here, please click on the How to Use Swapcard button. There's some really helpful and short videos that you could follow. So let's go back to the poll. I will take a look at Swapcard and see the response now. Where are you joining in from? I'm just going to take a look at the poll. So as we await the results of the poll, I can see some feedback here. I see Greg say, welcome, just there in the chat room. Remember, I still want to know where you are joining in from and how you say hello in your language. I see Jason says, Ndewa Unu. I hope I pronounced it well. Well, I'm learning a lot of new languages, so please pardon me if I don't. I see Louise say hello. She's dropping in from the UK and she's looking forward to contributing tomorrow. Great, great. I'm looking forward to your session as well. I see Cynthia saying she's glad to be attending. Okay, Omolara says Bawo in Yoruba language. She's teaching us how to say hello in Yoruba language. I see Ebenezer saying greetings from all members of the Immobella Engineering Nigeria, West Africa. Oh, you still need to teach me how to say hello. I see Enyinaya saying Eket, I miss you. I'm learning a lot here. Greetings from the Gambia says Kemo. Kemo, please teach me how to say greetings from the Gambia in your own language. Thank you, Brantin, for wishing us good luck. Oh, I see another feedback here from Presidential Team Coordinator from IOSH. In Hindi, we say Namaste. I used to think Namaste was the Indian. Oh, I didn't know, but I'm glad to know that I can now say Namaste. Namaste to you. Ndewa Unu from Delta State. From Ghana, Akwapa. Akwapa means welcome, but how do I say hello? And from the Zambia, I see Mwakata. Mwakata. Great. I'm learning some things here, and I hope you're learning as well. So the results of the polls are finally here, and we see that 40% of the people are joining in from the workplace, while 55% are joining in from home. So, I mean, this is the beauty of working virtually, the fact that we get to work from home. All right, that's great. So let me tell you a bit about how today will run and what's coming up later this afternoon. We've got a couple of short parallel sessions, one on worker engagement and the other on emotional intelligence. If you want to attend both, don't worry about it. You can watch the one you missed by clicking on that session afterwards and watching the replay on demand. So some people are like me. I like to call myself an Oliver Twist because I want more of everything good. So that means that if you miss one, you can still watch the other one on replay, by asking for it eventually on Swapcard. Then we will close the session with a session on infrastructure. We'll close the day with a session on infrastructure development and inward investment. It's time to hear from our IOSH president. But before we do that, here's a short item looking back on some of the highlights of the great work that IOSH has done in West Africa so far. Stay with us. Wow, this is so inspiring. So inspiring. Well done, IOSH. I'd now like to introduce you to the president of IOSH, Jimmy Quinn. He'll welcome you with a message that formally opens this conference. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you, Temi. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it is with honour that I declare the IOSH West Africa Conference 2021 officially open. You can probably guess that hosting events and launching new initiatives is part and parcel of a president's ceremonial role. And that certainly is in the case of the Institution of Occupational Safety and Health. But to open this particular conference is a real privilege. Our previous conference in West Africa, more than a year ago, heralded the inauguration of IOSH's West Africa Division. I have learned of the energy, enthusiasm and achievements of this unique network on the continent of Africa, and I'm delighted by the excellent work that's been carried out by members of the division to attract new members and strengthen it. So it's my great pleasure to join with you once again and have the chance to discuss plans for the future. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. And to those of you who are new to IOSH, I would like to extend a very special welcome. I know you will be warmly received. Before we start with today's proceedings, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to everyone who has helped to bring about this event. It's an event at which, despite the restrictions imposed on us by the COVID pandemic, we have the means to share information, exchange ideas, and debate important topics. Our stimulating programme of keynote presentations, panel discussions, and workshops has been assembled specifically to address issues which have been raised as being of concern and interest in the region. It's been the result of a real team effort by members of West Africa Division in both Nigeria and Ghana and IOSH staff in the UK, and shows the power we have when we work together. Thank you to all involved. The title of our conference is A Brighter, Safer Future for workers, for businesses, for West Africa. In part, this reflects everyone's desire to continue to combat and overcome the terrible pandemic that has wreaked so much devastation around the world. But that is only one aspect. IOSH understands that any recovery must be measured in the long term, and that therefore prosperity in West Africa can only be achieved if businesses cannot just survive but prosper. And businesses can only be successful if workers' physical health and mental health are protected from harm. By businesses, I'm not just referring to organisations in the private sector, public sector, and voluntary sector. Organisations play an important part in the economy of the region, so it's critical that workers in those sectors have adequate protections in their workplaces too. What we're talking about here is the need to value our workforce, our human capital, if we are to have a sustainable future. Whatever industrial or professional sector they work in, whether male or female, workers should return home safely from work. This fundamental principle should be part of any business planning. It will enable all other economic and social benefits to accrue to our communities and to our national and regional economies. I'm delighted that we're able to host speakers from international agencies, regional and national bodies, civil society organisations, and businesses to address us and share their thinking on these themes. I hope that you will take every opportunity over the next 2 days to engage in the discussions and debates, to ask questions, and to take advantage of the chance to meet and exchange with fellow professionals and with those in other professions to find out more about how we can make occupational safety and health an integral part of a sustainable future. I'd like you now to welcome Vanessa Harwood-Witcher, IOSH's Chief Executive. Until recently, Vanessa was Director of Professional Services at IOSH. She has been very involved in driving up the standards that the occupational safety and health profession should meet, and ensuring that IOSH members are at the forefront of those developments. Vanessa has been right at the heart of IOSH's strategic thinking, so I'm sure you'll be looking forward to hearing her views on the opportunities that lie ahead for the OSH profession in West Africa. Until then, till we speak again, be safe, be well, and of course, be kind. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you, Jimmy, for your generous introduction. Honoured guests, I'm delighted to be here with you today. I can't think of a better way to start my career as Chief Executive than to take part in such a strategically important conference for IOSH. It's a real privilege to be able to address members and non-members who are doing so much to build a brighter, safer future in West Africa. To those of you who are coming across IOSH for the first time, I'd like to give you a little flavour of who we are and what we do. IOSH is the chartered body for the occupational safety and health profession, representing over 47,000 individual health and safety professionals working in organisations in more than 130 countries. We act as a champion, advisor, advocate and trainer for health and safety professionals. Our focus is to support the profession through our membership, to create workplaces that are safer, healthier and more sustainable. We collaborate with governments, advise policymakers, commission research and run high-profile campaigns to promote awareness of issues affecting workplace safety, health and well-being. IOSH leads the profession that is transforming the world of work. That status is recognised by the business world and is one of the reasons why chartered membership of IOSH is considered to be the hallmark of professional excellence in workplace safety and health. Our work is informed by the global presence of our members in boardrooms, in manufacturing plants, in transport and logistic hubs, in food processing factories, in construction, in petrochemical plants, in financial institutions, in health and social care, in local government, in telecommunications. There is not one sector of business or industry where IOSH does not have representation. That's why, with our expertise, reputation and reach accumulated over 76 years since our founding, we have the credibility and the authority to work with governmental partners and non-governmental organisations, investors and regulators, industry and trade unions. IOSH has been successful in bringing people together around our clear purpose of creating a safe and healthy world of work. We are shaping the future of occupational safety and health and the profession and influencing important decisions that affect the safety, health and well-being of people at work worldwide. West Africa is very much a part of IOSH's global vision. It's clear from the relationships we've been developing in the region that there is an appetite for what IOSH has to offer. In the time since we formally set up our West Africa division, we've attracted businesses and civil society organisations who've been wanting to find out more about us and learn how we can work together to bring greater economic prosperity and social benefit. We have a shared understanding that when workers are protected from harm at work, whether through illness or injury, whether physical or mental, they are able to work productively and for the long term. We understand that health and safety at work is not a cost to an organisation, but in fact an investment that will easily repay itself. These principles hold good for our economy, for our communities and for us as individuals, wherever we live and work. There are safety and health professionals who have been doing great jobs protecting their fellow employees, sometimes in very hazardous industries, but also in much more everyday work environments. Often these professionals are the only health and safety person in their workplace. That being the case, where do they get peer support? Where do they find others who understand the demands of their role? Where do they turn to receive the latest information, to share good practice, or to ensure that their skills continue to be up to the mark? IOSH offers that collective support, backed up by a tremendous bank of knowledge and experience and a vast network of co-professionals around the world. That's why the IOSH West Africa division is poised to grow rapidly and will be ready to receive new members with open arms. I do hope that those of you who are new to IOSH will join. We need your unique input to help make a difference to the workplace in West Africa. But I'm not here merely to sell IOSH membership to you. I want to tell you about what IOSH has been doing to try and make an impact. We held our first West Africa conference in January 2020 with close to 1,000 participants, including government ministers and high-profile journalists, before launching the IOSH West Africa division in November 2020. This was an important milestone for IOSH, as it was the very first time that we had established a network on the continent of Africa. So the participants at this conference who are IOSH members from that event are true pioneers, leading the way to increase the influence of the occupational safety and health profession in Africa. We co-hosted a webinar with the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management in Nigeria and subsequently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with CIPM, which aims to drive education and standards in the human resources and occupational safety and health professions. As part of that collaboration, IOSH was delighted to be partner in the CIPM People First Awards. We have been working with the federal government of Nigeria to strengthen health and safety law, and with the Lagos State Safety Commission to support regulation and inspection. It has been our pleasure to sponsor the AfriSafe Awards for the last 2 years. These are important events because they remind us that behind all good health and safety stories, there are people. People who are dedicated to their profession, people who go the extra mile, people who care about other people. They illustrate to us that the phrase, "people are your greatest asset," has a real meaning. It's this meaning that is reflected in our Catch the Wave campaign, which explores human capital and sustainability, a theme that will run throughout this conference. When we talk about sustainability, we are thinking not merely in the environmental sense. IOSH sees sustainability as a much broader humanitarian issue. We understand that work is not just a source of livelihood for workers to support themselves and their communities, but also a foundation of self-worth and dignity. From the starting point that work should be safe and healthy for all workers, we can readily see that good work should be measured not only in wages and salaries or in productivity, but also in terms of how well an organisation looks after its people. Investors, regulators, workers, customers, the media and politicians are asking questions of business about how it looks after its people. There is a growing ethical dimension, not only to choices made by consumers, but also to decisions by investors on where to invest their funds and by suppliers on whom they want to do business with. Human sustainability credentials will come under more and more scrutiny from the boardrooms of blue-chip multinationals to producers in supply chains. Businesses will have to take care that they measure, monitor and communicate these aspects of their work if they wish their reputations and their brands to survive and prosper. The last year, the COVID-19 pandemic, emerging chronic crises and the growth of social justice movements have changed the lens through which we view the world. Our attention begins to focus ever more strongly on what it means to be a responsible, sustainable and resilient business built on solid financial, environmental, social and ethical principles. Businesses who set high standards for the treatment of their workforce, their communities and their supply chains are reaping the rewards with stronger performance and growth. That is no coincidence. On the other hand, poor working conditions, neglect and abuse are exposed to a global audience that demands justice. Workers and customers have access to means of communication that very soon sound the alarm when private profit comes at the expense of public good. For a long time, the environment has been the cause that has driven the corporate sustainability agenda. Now it's time to put people alongside planet and profit to realise the full potential in a business's workforce. IOSH is working alongside international partners including the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the International Labour Organization and the Commonwealth to harness the collective energy of progressive businesses and make a long-term commitment to driving social sustainability forward, with a global force of occupational safety and health professionals making sure change happens on the ground. Safer environments and more enlightened attitudes to health and well-being, diversity and inclusion are and have always been IOSH issues. COVID-19 has shown just how critical IOSH professionals are to protecting people, to supporting business survival and to restoring profitability to sustainability. This conference is a small but significant step to creating an interconnected global network of resilient, profitable businesses and organisations that flourish equitably and sustainably around safe and healthy workforces. Over the next 2 days, we'll hear from our excellent speakers about the challenges and opportunities facing the world and regional economy, and then we will debate and discuss the solutions that an IOSH perspective can offer. I'm very much looking forward to the interesting exchanges that we are going to have, and I wish you all a rewarding and enjoyable conference.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. That was inspiring and it was enlightening. You truly have set the scene for a really enjoyable conference that's looking forward to a brighter future. So thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to welcome Guy Mbayo Kakumbi. He is the Technical Officer for Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, and he's also the Acting Team Lead for Climate Change, Health and Environment at the World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa. He joins us live. Hello, Guy, welcome.
Karibu.
I'm just going to ask you how you say hello in your language, but you beat me to that already. So what language is that?
There it was Swahili, but I come from a country where we have four vernacular languages that are common to almost everybody. Okay. I am from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and there we speak Lingala, we speak Swahili, we speak Chiluba, we speak Kikongo, and French.
Okay. All right, so thank you for adding to my list of languages. I can now say Karibu. Thank you very much, and over to you.
Thank you, Temi. I will be sharing my screen. When I was requested to have a keynote speech today, I felt we could not do without talking about COVID-19, as it has disturbed all our lives, everywhere you are, willing or not willing. Now, I will need your help to confirm that you are able to see my screen and not my notes. Temi? Hello?
Hi, Guy. Yes, I can see your screen.
And not my notes.
Your screen. I can see your screen.
Wonderful. So I'm good to go. Now, I will be talking about COVID on the workplace. I have challenges passing the slide. Okay. This is the outline of my presentation. I will have a few numbers on the epidemic, and then I will talk a bit about the transmission at the workplace, the key factors that contribute to the transmission. I will talk about those factors, then have a word on the hierarchy on hazard control, and then what we need to do to protect workers. And eventually, I will be concluding on a takeaway message. This is data as of 11th of September, almost a week now. As we speak, we have cumulated 5,700,000 and some thousand cases over the continent. Here I am talking about the region that is covered by WHO, which covers 47 countries. The case fatality rate stands at 2.4%. We are already experiencing the third wave, and the good news is though that numbers are dropping down in general, even if we have a few countries that are still seeing the new cases increasing, that is especially in the east of Africa. You want to note that up to 22 out of the 47 countries report with some delays. And the worst up in our list is Cameroon, for which some cases are reported more than 17 days after the aftermath. Now, For sure, the transmission can occur within health facilities as a working place. But again, we are saying that we have seen transmission outside the healthcare facilities, and that through person-to-person contact, inadequate ventilation in workplaces, the use of common eating areas or kitchen that are not taking care of all public health social measures recommended, the fact of sharing work accommodation, and indeed sharing transport or even the workplace itself. I'm still struggling with my slides to move them. Something is wrong with my computer. Several factors make that possible. We have first the place where we work itself, then we have my slides are not moving. We have the work environment, we have some factors that are outside of our workplace, and we also have our own conditions, the social demographics of those people that are affected. Those are the key 4 issues that are contributing to the transmission of COVID-19. Let's first talk about the workplace. By the work that we are doing, we are exposed to contracting this infection. And you want to note that we have a category that usually work for others, that is health workers, that are the highest at risk of contracting the infection. And indeed, all the other professions, being service and sales workers within the education system, the tourism and hospitality work, construction site, domestic workers, etc. And again, occupation that allow for remote work has shown eventually a lower risk infection rate. The work environment as well can increase the risk of contracting this virus. And that goes especially with the person-to-person contact, the inadequate ventilation, and the sharing of the space itself. Outbreaks have been identified in a number of different work environments, in offices, in meat processing plants, when we go exercising, and especially within transport facilities. And again, as always, the migrant work or category of workers are the most affected. Even if we come with the disease at work, we can contract it totally out of work lines. That could be for those that are sharing accommodation, for those commuting to and from their workplace, those as African who always have social gathering to attend, funerals, parties, weddings, etc. Our social demographic situation is also an ingredient to being highly exposed to COVID or not. And we are saying that low-income stratas are the most affected, female, gender as well, immigrant, and again, those that are most aged are also more affected, for they are the weakest. We have also seen that people less educated, eventually they have less occupational risk of exposure to SARS-CoV-2. This slide shows the key ways one can control a situation, this disease especially. You can eventually, at the workplace, eliminate the hazard. You can substitute it. You can engineer some controls measures. You could put in place some administrative controls measures, or you can just add physical barriers like PPEs. And with that, there is a higher or less level of effectiveness of those control measures. And again, we always promote a combination of more than one measure to make sure that we can be the most effective possible. Now, before we talk about how to plan and arrange our workplace, we want to understand how we can protect workers to avoid for them to contract COVID. My slides are not moving. We have key recommendations, 3 key recommendations. Authorities need to adapt measures based on the level of COVID-19 transmission, especially at community level. Government and employers must also consider the potential impact of socioeconomic well-being. People can lose their income. And the government should define national policies to protect the health and safety of workers by including policies that can establish surveillance of COVID in the workplace, ensuring that whoever is sick can continue to be paid as per regulation, and indeed enforce public health and occupational health and safety measures at the workplace. You want to encourage remote working whenever possible. Now, how do we plan for a safe work environment? You have 6 levels of intervention. You can make sure that you have sufficient supplies available at the workplace, mask, hand hygiene supply, etc. You can ensure that physical sufficient resources are deployed, people with rotation. You want to encourage and train as much as possible your workers remotely, and before putting also in place protocols for reopening your offices. You want to allow for partial reopening initially, and then monitor and increase the number of workers that can resume work. Make sure that you can conduct symptom surveys of all your workers, and indeed establish some rotational arrangement to reduce the number of workers in your place. Clearly, you want to promote all key public health and social measures that are recommended to keep your distance between workers, to frequently wash hands with water and soap or with alcohol-based hand rubs, respect the coughing protocols, ventilate spaces, constantly wear masks, ensure adequate cleaning and disinfection of all the surfaces. And for you to take away, clearly, you want to ensure that health workers should continue to enjoy their right to decent, healthy, and safe working conditions, despite COVID-19. Remind everyone that primary prevention lays with health workers. We can ensure that by ensuring risk assessment, availability of PPE equipment, occupational health services should be availed, mental health and psychosocial support as well, adequate sanitation, hygiene, and rest facilities in the workplace. Healthcare facilities should also have occupational health program in place. Employers all should have the overall responsibility to ensure that all necessary preventive and protective measures are taken to minimize occupational risk and hazard. Health workers are responsible for following established rules for the protection of their health first place. Clearly, the benefit is for all. That is the theme of this conference. All workers, including small businesses and informal economy, should have access to occupational and safety health programs, and indeed to health coverage. This is the content of this slide is all that you need to forget, not to forget when you would have forgotten all that I would have said today. And as takeaway, WHO and ILO has published back in 2019 a health, safety, and dignity of sanitation workers. This is an initial assessment that enables us to understand how to further protect them. And that cover key challenges, good practices, and areas potential for action. You have here a list of tools that you can use to further learn and ascertain your knowledge and update your knowledge in the area of protection and occupational health. And then you have more resources you could make use of. So thank you very much for your time. I hope I have not taken too much time this morning. And again, COVID is there to stay, but the way we organize our workplace can enable us to still be productive and to still protect our workers. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Asante Guy, thank you very much. That was Guy Mbayo Kakumbi, Acting Team Lead for Climate Change, Health and Environment at the WHO Regional Office for Africa. Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you know, over the last years, IOSH has been working behind the scenes to build a network of safety and health professionals in West Africa to help advocate for the importance of safety and health at work. Last year saw the official launch of the IOSH West African Division. This network has been growing fast with safety and health professionals from all over the region who are determined to play their part in making a safer and a healthier workplace for all of us. Here's a message from the chair and members of the IOSH West African Division. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Dapo Omolade, the chair of IOSH West African Division. Here are the views of some of our members from West Africa. Happy listening. Thank you.
IOSH West African Division has really meant a lot to me as I have gotten some incentives that have helped me to grow in my HSC career.
OSH is good for business because it improves workers' productivity, it helps reduce compensation payments, and also meets the requirement for public and private sector contractors.
As an IOSH member, I have benefited tremendously, most especially on the aspect of increased professional networking, expansion of knowledge through webinar attendance, unlimited access to IOSH magazines.
Good OSH is good for any business that wants to genuinely make profit, because we all know that the most critical asset of every organization is the human capital.
IOSH is good for business because it will encourage organizations to save money from the economy, it will limit them to abide with the law, and it will encourage them to be morally upright with their employer.
The network means a great deal to me. I mean, I got to know about IOSH through its local members, who without doubt are very resourceful and very supportive.
My wish for IOSH is that it will continue to impact the life of every OHSA professional out there and help them achieve their dreams.
The IOSH West African Division Network means a lot to me because it gives me the opportunity to network with fellow Africans within and outside the region.
IOSH has been good to me in the aspect of giving me the opportunity to serve in a leadership position and help me see that I have the potential and I have the skills which I never thought that I did.
IOSH provides you the platform to learn, the platform to continuously grow, and to evaluate yourself. And of course, it is a fact that IOSH and good IOSH management increases the performance and productivity of an organization.
Thank you to Dakpo and to members of the West African Division. You are essential to IOSH in spreading the message that occupational safety and health is very important in our daily working lives. Thank you. To see the members in full, to see the messages of the members in full, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, simply visit the West African Division's page on Swapcard. Now, if you have any comments so far, let's see them in the chat box. Any comments so far? I'll run straight to Swapcard now to find out what you are saying. I see Henry. Henry says it's great to be a part of this event. I see Ronald. Ronald says great event. I see Issa. Issa says it's inspiring. Whoa, good to hear your feedback, Soph. I love to hear feedback because it's not a one-way conversation. You know, we are listening to the speakers and the audience as well. So we'll be coming to you from time to time to hear your thoughts on the event. Just click on the chat button and drop your comment. I see a few more messages here. Oh, I see one for Charles. This is Charles saying that thank you, Guy, for the lecture. And I see Lawal saying I'm inspired. Lawal is inspired by the conference. Issa says, good morning. Amazing to be a part of this. Joining from Yola in Nigeria. How's Yola, Nigeria doing this morning? I mean, it's still about 11:49 here. So how's Yola, Nigeria this morning? I hear Lawal say, I'm inspired by Vanessa's speech that came in earlier. I'd like to read your messages, so please keep them coming. Please keep them coming. Emmanuel says, this is mind-blowing. Oluwakemi says, well, good start. Well done to all. Indeed, well done to all. Well done to IOSH. Well done to members of the West African Division. Well done to everyone. I see that for here says, it's great to hear our members giving feedback on their experiences as IOSH members in West Africa. That's why I must say that great job. Well done. You've been such a great leader, and it's great to see and hear from your members. All right, so I hear Elizabeth saying it's getting interesting. Can't wait for other sessions. Trust me, Elizabeth, I can't wait for other sessions. We've got a couple of parallel sessions coming. We've got other very great sessions. So please, both of us we're together in this thing together here. We both can't wait, to get along with the other sessions. So very soon we'll go back to them. But first, a few more comments. Jennifer says, very interesting session, very enlightening. And I see Angela saying, a wonderful way to start. A wonderful way to start. Ooh, So many other feedback here. Please keep them coming. I'll be coming to you from time to time and reading your comments, reading your thoughts, and we'll go ahead. But before I do that, we've got another amazing announcement. Now, this one is the type that requires drum rolls. Some announcements, you need drum rolls and just, a lot of energy to announce them. It's competition time. I like competitions and I like to win free gifts. I mean, who doesn't? So IOSH is giving away free places on an IOSH Level 3 certificate in safety and health for business to 4 lucky conference delegates. So 4 people are going to walk away with this, this opportunity. It's such a great opportunity, and I'd like for you to win. I know that I cannot participate in this because, I'm the conference moderator. I'm not sure I'll be allowed to participate, but please go ahead and win on my behalf. Be one of the 2 people who win today and one of the 2 people who win tomorrow. If you want to build your knowledge and enhance your CV, this is a great opportunity for you. I can assure you that you will gain technical knowledge and skills, as well as effective techniques to apply your knowledge in business. Your assessments will be practical and they'll be based on real-life scenarios that can be applied in your own workplace. To win, all you need to do is to seek out a number of polls throughout the conference sessions and answer the questions correctly. 2 places are up for grabs today, another 2 up for grabs tomorrow. Winners will be announced at the end of the inward investment session taking place later today. Now, everyone who answers the questions correctly will be entered into a prize draw and randomly picked to win a free place on the course. So this is how to win. It's very simple. If you find a poll in a session, you recall that, if you go on SwapCard, by the right-hand side, you see the chat question or poll window. Click on the poll, look for the poll, hunt the poll. If you find a poll there, then answer the question and just go on, and then the draw will take place and we'll find out who gets to walk away with this opportunity. So please win and don't miss that last session where the winner will be announced. We'll now take a short break. This is your chance to network, to grab a drink before the next session, or head over to the fun photo booth, and your picture would actually be on the gallery wall. If you haven't seen the photo booth, it's a lovely place to be. I checked in early this morning and took a picture. You'll find my picture right there. So take a picture and let people know what you're doing today. Don't forget to tag IOSH and to use, on your post, use the hashtag IOSHWAC21. The hashtag is across your screen now. It's on your screen. IOSHWAC21. Hashtag IOSHWAC21. So take a lovely picture using the fun photo booth. It's got these lovely stickers. You can put funny stickers there and edit it in a nice way and put your picture. It will end up on the gallery wall and you can share across social media. IOSH staff are also on hand to answer any questions you may have. I noticed that a few people were asking questions about how can I be a part of IOSH. I love what Dakwa and his team is doing in West African Division. I love what IOSH is doing globally. I just want to be a part of it. I saw such feedback, and I'm happy to tell you that IOSH staff are on hand to answer any questions that you may have. So you need to meet with them online through the IOSH virtual booth. Right there on SwapCard, you see the IOSH virtual booth. Click on it and interact with them. You'll see me later in the closing session today, but feel free to connect with me on SwapCard or even on LinkedIn. My name is Temi Popola on SwapCard. If you click on my SwapCard bio, it will take you directly to my LinkedIn account, also Temi Popola, across all social media platforms. So see you soon. Go ahead, enjoy networking, and see you soon.